And start.
Alright, I would say.
Are we up and running yet?
How about now?
Got you. Tark has a sound yes.
Cool. Okay, cool.
A bit skippy.
Pretty damn skippy.
It would be skippy.
Pretty damn skippy. Okay, I'm going to try to do that intro one more time and then I quit.
Are we still skipping? Hang on, are we still skipping?
Are we still skippy, people? People in the room, are we still skippy? Yes, it skips about times 3.
We'll disconnect again.
No.
Oh.
Nah.
Okay, not now. Okay.
No? Nah.
Why does it do that?
I don't know. Let's try this again. Welcome to Occultist Radio. Radio for the higher self. With your hosts, Vicky Adams and Jymie Darling. Okay, take 4 on this one more time. God!
With the ever-patient Michael
With the ever-patient Michael Fallsom, who's joining us from Australia as we interrupt this Barbie.
No, his Barbie was already done.
Oh, it was already done. So he's going to tell us one more time about himself, his band, his life, his work, his children, and how dingoes eat babies.
Oh my God, she's still got.
A dingo ate my baby. I'm not giving that line up. I'm telling you, I'm not giving it up. Good eye, mate.
How's it going, mate?
Good. I'm going good, mate. How are you?
Hey, I could start this by getting a dingo sound for you.
Oh, please.
It's a dingo.
Is that 2 socks?
Her name is Two Socks. And let's see if she makes a noise for us. Well, I'm just going over now.
She sings.
The dingo sings?
Kinda, yeah.
Does the dingo sing about babies?
You going to say something to us? Say hello? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yes. That's what a dingo sounds like?
Yes.
Yes.
That is gorgeous.
You say something else? Hey, Two Socks. Hello, beautiful. You say something? Oh, there you go.
I love it.
Oh, that's so good. You said dingo.
I can send a photo of her through too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see her. Wouldn't you?
They're the most gorgeous, gentle and respectful dogs you'd ever come across. They're very, very timid. You know how your normal mutt would run up to you and lick you all over your chops. Well,
right.
a dingo will get, I think much like a wolf, would get very close to your nose and just give you a very gentle little kiss on your nose or your lips.
Oh, I could handle that.
Oh, they're great dogs.
Yeah.
They were actually, they were domesticated dogs until white settlement here, and when they scattered all the camps of the indigenous folk, the dogs went feral.
Nice. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So Michael, you're a male that lives in Australia, and what was and take it from there.
Okay. Okay. So I make my living from talking with people who are having a bad time of it or who may have a mental illness. I've worked as a registered nurse now for close to 17 years in mental health. And at present I'm working in child and adolescent psychiatry, which is absolutely fantastic and necessary work, I think. And a lot of it's sort of diagnosing or undiagnosing people. I think a lot of parents of adolescents these days seem to think that they've all got bipolar because they've heard it on the telly or the radio or something. They need to just, I guess, have a bit of a better look at what's happening. So a lot of it's helping parents to communicate with their kids too, which can be a real challenge for some. But yeah. So that's how I make a bit of money, and have done for a while.
Yeah.
It's pretty steady work.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. And yeah, my art and music, I've been trying to turn myself and others on with that, I guess, since I was quite young, especially art.
Yeah. You're quite prolific.
Well, yeah, I've got a reasonable sort of body of work.
I think so.
Yeah. I think the works that I do tend to exhaust me, so I tend to maybe do, I work every 6 months or something like that, but I've got to try and change my work ethic there. I'd like to do a lot more.
Right.
Time's running out. I'm in my 40s now, so...
Time's not running out, Michael.
Oh my God, I just felt very fatalistic right this moment.
Jimmy just turned 40 this year, so she's like...
Only joking. I'm only joking.
Did you just give away my age?
Oops.
Oh my God.
I can tell you that I didn't hear that bit.
It's okay, it's my birthday. Actually, today.
It's your birthday?
Today in Australia.
Oh, you say it's your birthday?
I'm older than Jimmy, so don't worry about it. Even though technically I'm only turning 29.
For the last 20 years.
For the last 20 years. Nice. Thanks.
Is it really your birthday?
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank
it's
you.
Very special.
Thanks.
What do you... Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you celebrating? Have you celebrated?
Oh, no, we're making her do a radio show instead.
No, because it's the 17th here, even though it's the 18th in Australia. My mum called.
Ah.
Yeah, my mum.
So
Mum called already.
Your birthday before you do.
Yeah. Yours wasn't that long ago, right?
October.
Yeah. It wasn't that long ago.
See there, the whole board's going. There's already happy birthdays starting.
Yeah, that's why I said it, so I could get birthday greetings. No, I'm just joking. Just dawned on me.
I'll bake you a
cake. I feel very privileged to be talking to you before your birthday.
Oh. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess.
Yeah, you come from you come from a pretty artistic and musical family, right? Didn't you say that your grandfather died playing?
Oh, that was actually his brother.
Oh, his brother.
Ron Fallsom. He died on stage 2 years ago. He used to play with the midday show band, the Jeff Harvey Orchestra.
Right.
You'd have to be Australian to know what that is.
Yeah, you kind of would.
But yeah, I only found out about our, the kind of jazz pedigree, I suppose. It wouldn't have been that long ago until we started having family reunions, probably 10 years ago. So I got to meet a few other family members who were very big in the music biz.
Yeah, you said you have some famous ones, or one or two?
Well, Chris Fallsom writes all the music for the Pentecostal Church in San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
And he has a copy of some of my music.
What does he think of it?
He didn't tell me what he thought of it.
Aww.
He believes that Jesus may still save Michael's soul.
Yeah, he's saved, and I'm happy for him. And his son, I'm dropping a lot of names here. His son is actually Sam Sparrow. I don't know whether you've heard of Sam Sparrow.
Sam Sparrow. We only know of Jack.
Basement Jacks.
Jack Sparrow.
She's talking about Pirates of the Caribbean.
I'm just being silly. No, I've never heard of Sam Sparrow. Is that because it's an Australian-grown thing?
Yeah, but he works out of LA and London. He's primarily in London.
Okay, you know what? I'm pretty sheltered, so I'm not the best person to ask.
Yeah, he just makes quite big, bombastic, technological dance music.
Oh wow!
He's very good at it, and he's recently collaborated with Basement Jacks.
Right.
And Dad, my father, he didn't really get much into the musical side of things, although I grew up listening to a lot of Dave Brubeck and a lot of jazz.
Right.
Sort of 60s, 50s jazz.
That's cool.
And it was good. A lot of Dwayne Eddy too. He was a big Dwayne Eddy fan.
Right.
But I guess it was my grandfather Harold who showed me what did he describe them as? The things in the bush he showed me.
Right.
So live up in the Blue Mountains, and we used to go walking, and he used to point things out to me as a child that would be there and would disappear as soon as they'd appeared. But
right.
he just made me aware of, I guess, the earth spirits and the spirits that lived with us all the time.
Right.
He was a staunch heathen. He really distrusted any kind of organised religion, and he was very sort of down-to-earth, nature-worshipping type.
Nice.
But yeah, he wasn't always nice at Christmas, though. He used to really hassle Mum, who was a sort of a German Catholic. So that didn't always go down too well when he tried to explain what it was. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah. But that's cool to have someone like that guiding you, and, you know.
Yeah, it was all very natural, too. There was nothing sinister or, cultish about it.
Yeah.
We used to, there's a plant that grows up in the Blue Mountains, and it, I think it's a eucalypt, but it's a shrubby kind of plant, and it grows these seed pods like a lot of Australian native plants do that only really open in bushfires to be replanted, and he called them mountain devils. Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of the...
Yeah.
Up in Katoomba, you remember the mountain devils? They used to break the heads off the plants, and there was a little pointy ears and a pointy nose and a neck stem, and then they'd tie pipe cleaners around them and put them on little bicycles or holding pitchforks and things like that.
Nice.
I
like you. I already like you. Not only do you have a dingo, you do cool things.
I try to. You do cool things too.
Yeah, you do cool things too.
I sit in an office all day. I don't do too much.
She does not sit in an office all day. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're not a pod person, are you?
Maybe.
You're in your
pod person.
I'm a pod person.
She's an alien.
I'm an alien.
Oh, you're Australian now.
Australian.
Excellent. What is that? I'm one of the Stepford wives.
Okay.
Only I dress all in black and monkey boots and dye my hair burgundy and go into slam pits. And
you don't wear poles. Anyway.
I've seen you.
Yeah, he's seen you.
You can't fool me. You might be able to.
So, I guess, what I want to ask you is, should we play a track or something, or should we
Let's play the Krampus track. And you want to talk about the Krampus track, and then we'll play it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Kiss the Goat. It's to sum it up, I guess it's the a conversation between a male and a female. I guess, the god and the goddess.
Yeah. And
although it's mostly coming from the male perspective, as I'd penned it, not to say that I can't get in touch with my feminine side, but I wrote this song basically as, the god coming across his goddess, and the reaction that he had to the meeting and the conversation that we had. So I guess I was trying to use archetypal sort of imagery.
Right.
And yeah, I guess it's just the male versus, not male versus female, but I guess it is in a way. But the dynamics between male-female relations. And I guess the goat has been a symbol of, male sexual energy or potency, and also is directly sort of linked to the bush, the forests of where I feel most of the time.
Okay, cool.
So yeah. I probably put it together about 15 years ago, but but it's we only put it out a couple of weeks ago on a German compilation. It's an online compilation called The 7 Deadly Sins, and they'll be putting out Deadly Sin for the next year, I think.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's really cool. Yeah. All right, let's play it.
Very good.
Yeah.
Here we go.
All right.
Iron Man, I'm Michael Fallsom, he blew whiskers on his fingers. Iron Man, I'm Michael Fallsom, he blew whiskers on his fingers. Iron Man, I'm Michael Fallsom, he blew whiskers on his fingers.
Stand she before me, the lights are her eyes, her ivory thighs, they're parted for me. Knuckles at her hips, head tilted, she's listening, her frosted lips glistening at her mouth and her mound. She's reaching for the stars, she's smiling and pouting. I shove my fist earthwards, I'm gnashing and shouting. We'll mash our flesh together, the whole and whole forever. For love is hate and it won't wait for us to decide. Hey, la 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 la. Guess that I should, and abandon me scarred. She said if only I could. I cannot promise not to hurt you, degrade you or desert you, or bury your body in a box in the woods. Now she loves to look at me over her shoulder. Now she grows older and younger again, and will burn this way forever. I promised her in flame, so take what I give you, for it's never the same. Hey, la 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 la. Was the sign, the smoke rose around and formed things in our minds.
We have not much time,
she said,
before we know it we'll be dead. Time like a swastika, as cruel as its kind.
And dragged her back from fairyland, knitted fingers, strangling hands, blood, semen, petrol and ice in her throat.
I will never, never leave you.
She crashed on my chest, before she lay to rest, she said,
I will kiss the ghost.
Hey, la 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 la. La
I like that.
I love that.
Yes.
Oh,
Now, Michael,
really?
Michael,
That's
yes.
good. I'm glad you liked it.
We loved it. Is that Michelle singing with you?
That is Melinda.
Oh, Melinda.
And
Okay.
that's my lovely wife, Melinda.
Oh, Melinda. Sorry, I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying, Michelle? for?
It begins with M. My name's Michelle. So, I guess
Yeah, there you go.
Now, Michael, what is your philosophy? Because you've got a lot of songs here, and I'm reading them, and it has a lot to do, I think, with the runics and things. What is it that you actually believe in? I mean, if you want to share, because there's actually a philosophy behind your art and music. Yeah.
I guess it's a very personal one. I was introduced to the runes when I was probably 17 and a half, or when I left home and went to Sydney. I met a young witch there by the name of Samantha Hill, who lives in New York now, and she was a great source of inspiration for me as well. And we both attended art school together, and she taught me a lot about magic and sort of helped to, I guess, pull together a lot of the stuff that I've been researching since I was a kid.
Right.
I truly believe in love.
Right.
I think that is, if there's a word that I would use, it'd be that. I know it's only a word, but the meaning behind it, I think, is huge for me personally. I do my best to try and love everybody.
Right.
And I was reading in your bio that you have a great deification of animals, and that's actually what drives the band.
Well, yeah, that's right. And I guess dogs in particular, I've always had dogs near me as a child, even the tiniest child, always been surrounded by dogs. So I think the dog nature, dogs being these sort of bottomless love batteries, they're just emanating love all the time. And I remember as a child, if I felt, angry or upset, or I'd skinned my knee, fallen off my skateboard or something, I'd always have a dog there licking my face and comforting me. And in a lot of ways, I didn't get the same love from humans. There was always, I guess, expectation, or there was always conditions. So yeah, I think dogs help connect me more with nature and my own nature, and I truly believe that's what they're there for. And all animals too, just observing and living with animals. I was listening to the song "The Kiss the Goat." There's no horned animals at all native to Australia, so I think my fixation with goats is probably, might be in my European DNA somewhere there, or my Maltese DNA. So it obviously sort of goes back to Pan or Dionysus or any, I guess, of the horned sort of archetypes. But animals most definitely, and yeah.
Yeah, because in your bio, I thought it was really interesting that you wrote down that it was not only the deification was the main aesthetic drives of the band, but you also pay homage to the sacred trees, the runes, and the laws of nature. And in your bio, you said that these things are the only truly worthy things of religious consideration.
Yeah, I'd still stand by that.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really put myself into any kind of ism or schism or whatever you want to call it. I've sort of always dwelt around the fringes of organised groups,
right?
Because they all seem to have more to do with human nature than nature. Politics politics doesn't really play out in nature. It's just, what can grow on top of something else or what can survive from something else. It's all, the nature shows tend to make it look violent or nasty, but it's not. It's nature. It's what has to happen. And I guess I'd try and do my best to live by a natural current as I can. At the same time, trying to, not get in the face of my fellow human travellers and try not to, I guess, force my ideas on them. I shoot my mouth off. I'm quite happy to do that.
Right.
But I try to do it, in a recorded manner or in a artistic way instead of, pulling someone up on the street and trying to make them feel bad about themselves. I guess, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, I guess I try not to despair too much from the fellow humans. I guess that's why I'm in the field that I am. I like to think that humans are capable of the same sort of perfection that animals are. Animals can't be anything but perfect. They do what they do because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
I'm not saying they don't think about it, and I think, I'm sure they do, but I think humans are placed to far too many conditions on themselves, and I think working in psychiatry has helped me help others, give their sanity a slightly longer lead, and I guess just trying to make people feel better about themselves.
Right.
And again, going back to this character Sam, she taught me a lot about that, and still does. So she was, I had my grandfather, I had Sam, and meeting my wife Melinda. We met at a rune feast, and I guess I had been searching in a way, but at the time I'd met Melinda, I'd pretty much given up on meeting another partner.
Right.
It had been quite a long time, and she basically just, on the day that I said, stuff it, I'll give up, she popped up, and we've been together ever since. And if I could talk about a particular drawing, I don't know if I've sent it to you, but it's myself on horseback in a creek with a very weird-looking horse, and there's a small water nymph balancing on a ball, or a bubble with and there's lots of runes flying around and things like that. She's half white, half black. Where I spent a lot of my formative years in a alpine town, New South Wales, called Cooma, and we had the run of the bush there. And that spirit of places had always been a real inspiration to me, and I kept referring to it in music and in art, and the rocks and the trees and the animals that live there and the experiences that I had. And a drawing that I did of myself on a horseback with a furry sort of like a earth spirit guide tracking through a creek. I got the original of the drawing on the same weekend that I met Melinda, but I delivered the framed original to a girl that I knew who came from Cooma, from the town, and I gave it to her in that morning as a present, and went to this rune feast that night, and basically met the girl that was depicted in the drawing. It was,
oh wow!
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and that, I guess, that is one of the things about the artwork that I do, or I had done. In a lot of it ended up, it was as if I was seeing things that were happening,
prior to,
drawing what was going to happen, whether it be, you know, a few years down the track or what. And I guess that it hasn't really compelled me to do a lot more. It was quite alarming, but I'd need to experiment more with it.
Right.
Yeah. As you can see, a lot of the imagery is pretty bizarre, and it's sort of it has an energy about it that I can't quite describe.
Right.
And, you know, as events occur, and then going back and looking at these drawings and picking out little bits, or again, some events occur, and it's absolutely a slap in the face. You know,
Yeah.
It's as if I saw it coming and drew it, but I didn't realise it at the time. So I'm not actually sitting down to draw these pieces with any hope in mind. They just kind of pour out of my head and...
Michael, we have a question for you in the room. Frater Generosus would like to know, as you work with children, what do you think about autism or Asperger's syndrome in a spiritual context?
Well, I would love to answer that question, but I would need to spend another few years working with these kids before I could actually formulate something intelligent. I think Sven would be the best person to ask about that.
How so?
Sven has just finished a book for, I think it was IBM, on autism and IT.
Oh, I didn't realise.
And yeah, he's a bit of an expert. But
we've
I think in a spiritual sense, the kids that I've come across with autism, my own take on it is that they are old souls. That's what they seem like, and they seem very frustrated in being raised by parents who are perhaps young souls or unable to...
Oh my God, I think you've touched on something like spot on. You know, we know a few. What?
You can say it.
All right, Jymie's got a half brother, and herself have got her half brother's got Asperger's, and Jymie does too.
Yep.
So the few that I've come across, I would say they do have old souls, and the parents not quite so. You know, in the limit, like I said, in the limited capacity where I've had the opportunity to interact with them. Yeah, I never thought of it that way, but now that you say it,
Well, it's a very simplistic way of putting it, I guess.
But I gotta thank you because
I think
as somebody with Asperger's, you know, people look at you and just, oh, you've got Asperger's. There's something terrible wrong with you.
Nobody knows Jymie does because she's she's highly functional.
Yep.
When I'm not functional, I sit in the back.
Yeah, when she's not functional, she sits in the back. But, and I think that's quite a revelation for us. I think it makes it a little, not that you had difficulty with accepting it, obviously, no. Jymie, you know what I mean? But it does, what does that give you to hear that?
Yeah, it gives a little more perspective to it. Our minds work above and beyond.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And what happens is we just kind of shut down the entire outside world as everything works in patterns and most people don't see it. And our minds work above and beyond, and it's good to know, because if you talk to anybody with Asperger's or any other type of autism, particularly in the Asperger's, we're really quite intelligent people.
Definitely.
And we've got a lot of insight.
Yeah.
And it would make sense that we were old souls, because it's, you know, we put things together and people go, whoa, but then you become non-functioning and you have your moments. And
I think the term little professors is one that I would use and I was told about it really before I had much experience, you know. these kids are going to be like little professors. You know,
Right.
when you're talking to them, there's nothing that you can tell them that they don't already know.
No, right.
And my grandfather and I used to talk like quantum mathematics when I was younger.
Her grandfather was a physicist.
We did math, and I did math for far beyond years, and it was, he would give me all these math problems to do in my head, and it was like 200 times 3,567, and what does that equal? And if I got it right, I got to do puzzles. So, which was my reward, was doing puzzles, more puzzles upon more puzzles. But I got lucky because as a kid, I think my grandfather was an old soul.
Oh, definitely.
Because he'd walk behind me and he'd say, "My God, there isn't anything you can't do. You're a genius. Don't you let anybody tell you different." And he goes, "You're just odd. That's all."
Well, your grandfather obviously had the secret to that shouldn't be a secret in regards to raising children of any sort. You know, it's praise and encouragement that makes a well-rounded individual. A lot of the kids that I come across are constantly criticised, and and it's a really, you know, it's not a good place for them.
No, you know, I think my mother realized it. I came home from kindergarten one day and I said, "Why do I have to go to kindergarten?" And she goes, "What?" And she goes, "Because it's the law." And I said, "It actually isn't the law, and all we do is finger paint and take naps. Can't I take finger paint and take naps at home? Why do I have to be around the other children that are more stupid than I am?" And she looked at me and she goes, "I don't have an answer for you. You don't have to go back to kindergarten tomorrow."
Yeah.
And I didn't have to.
So you also give these children an artistic, I don't know if I want to call it outlet, a form of expression. You know, to get out, any form of frustration, any dreams,
any kid, whether they have autism or not.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, regardless. But even you were saying yourself, you know, I thought this was interesting. You know, an artistic form of expression, whether it be music or, you know, art and that, it helps release any kind of pent up anger or whatever, you know, that might be destructive in a social, you know, environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, anger and sadness. I think,
sadness.
You know, a lot of the music that I know that you enjoy, Vicky, and you know, the artwork, a lot of it comes from anger and sadness.
Because your artwork, I wish they could see it right now. I mean, they're going to have to wait till later. Is so chock-a-block full of symbolism, and some of the subject matter will probably, no doubt, make people uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, I feel uncomfortable looking at it myself.
Do you?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
And do you do that on purpose to make people have to confront?
I don't think so.
No,
not that I
honestly, a lot of it just comes out. You know, I don't tend to. I mean, a lot of it's not anatomically correct or anatomically sort of related. A lot of it is just literally just coming straight off the pen.
Right, yeah.
A lot of them started out as just complete scribbles in pencil, and then I'd sit down for hours with a pen or rub bits out of the pencil and just make something out of all the scribbles. So.
Yeah. Some of your artwork seems like channeled, but like you were talking earlier, you know, you could foresee events.
It's almost like Austin Osman Spare.
Some of them, like there's one piece in particular that reminds me like highly of Austin Osman Spare, and a little bit of, for some reason, Picasso. I don't know why, but it does. I think the way you were drawing some of, you know, the limbs, the hands. When he had that certain period when he was doing that. Oh damn it! I've totally forgotten what period that's called. Anyway, and some of them look wood blocky, you know, or lino cuts, and others are illustrations. But there's not like a single space on the page that isn't occupied by something. There's you know, it's loaded and with runes as well. You use swastikas, like different forms, variations of.
I've used swastikas in my artwork since I was at least 4 or 5.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, all the time, and I still do.
And and then you'll couple them with flowers. Yeah. Like.
Yeah. Well, it's it's a symbol of,
Yeah.
you know, it's a symbol of time and life, and it's a symbol of good health, really, at least, you know, the origins of it are.
Yeah.
I think the Friends of the Swastika is a great group to check out, Man, Woman, and his crew.
Yeah.
Well, because the swastika is quite a misunderstood symbol.
Oh, it's totally misunderstood, yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be reclaimed, really. I think it's an important symbol for humans.
Mm-hmm.
But again, you know, it's the same old sort of light versus dark, trying to get, you know, one point across. I think, you know, symbols are symbols. Symbols don't actually hurt people.
Exactly.
Other humans hurt.
It's
Seriously.
it's socio-political people who do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's agendas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Travelling through Nepal a few years ago. No, they're painted on the sides of houses. They're in all the temples.
It's all over Tibet.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Hell, it was all over Victorian postcards. You know, it's a symbol of, they coupled it with the good luck.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's what, you know, it really still
Was it
needs
the
to-
sun
I
as
think
well?
it'll happen
Yeah.
in time.
Yeah,
I think it's happening right now, and Reclaim the Swastika movement and people like that are doing a great job. It might seem like it's nothing to a lot of people, but it's quite important to a lot of people as well. So I'm very happy people like that are out there doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And too, the kids both kids have grown up knowing, you know, the meaning behind those symbols. And
yeah, you have some. I think you've done some. Damn it! You've cut out some images of children's faces, and overlaid them on.
that was.
There's like 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah. There's probably one of Freya in there.
Yeah, right. I was going to ask you, is that one of your kids? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be Freya.
Right.
She's kind of like the straight cousin in the Munsters. So she's lived with all these sort of freaks. Well, you know the crew back in Sydney.
Yeah.
I was with all them and all my music. She used to fall asleep on a little sort of sheepskin rug as I was making all my nasty experimental music. And my art and the same with Otto. He's a great artist himself, but I don't think he's not that confident. But he does some fantastic stuff. It always blows my mind. I remember when he was about 7, he drew this really elaborate sort of cartoon, and I couldn't quite work out what it was until he put word bubbles up the top. And it was all these different figures on a cloud, and he'd written, I'm in heaven having sex with God and all the angels. And
Sounds like a chip off the old block.
Oh, yeah, in a way.
In a way, I mean,
he rebels by wearing a lot of white clothes.
No, obviously I wasn't talking about the words, but just the whole concept. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
I love the stuff that comes out of kids' mouths.
What was that?
I love what comes out of kids' mouths and their minds and the most unexpected stuff, that's kind of like,
Well, absolutely, and that's, I think, a key to raising kids too, is like, they've come from where we're going to.
Yeah.
They do have wisdom, quite simply, they do.
Yeah, they do.
Of course,
and they see it from such a untainted sort of place as well. So I've always listened to kids. In fact, moving the family up the coast, 12 years ago when things were pretty shitty in Shit City, I actually asked Freya, she was probably 8, I said, do you want to move up the coast? And really, if she had said no, I probably still be in Sydney, but she didn't. So she, I put my trust in her decision, and it worked. So thanks, Freya.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're going to go into another song.
Black Cat Magic.
How about that one?
Oh, okay.
Want to talk a little bit about what that is?
I'd say it's from a live show in the Waterloo Tavern from it would be from the sort of late 80s, maybe early 90s, and it's when we used to get on stage with. We used to actually drive to the gigs in a tip truck with all the equipment on it and unload, tip the tipper up and get all our stuff off. We used to play guitars with our feet and and use a lot of fireworks. Really, they were just bungers or penny bungers. They're like little sticks of dynamite. We used to just blow things up a lot and just make a lot of noise and have a lot of fun. We've got, in this particular song you hear Catherine Wren, who's a friend I studied nursing with. She came along, got into that. Also John Murphy is playing horns, and Bane Wolfkind is playing horns in it as well. It's very chaotic.
Cool.
Yeah, put your hands over your ears.
I want to hear this.
All right, here we go. This is Michael's Bestianity, Black Cat Magic, and we'll be right back with Michael. actually like that kind of style of music.
A song you can really relax to.
It is, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to get... People would actually meditate or sort of get into...
Yeah, actually.
I don't like the really soft meditation music.
No, either do I. It puts me to sleep.
It pisses me off.
You know what I like about you guys' music is I used to really hate anything that sounded overly Australian growing up, but since I've moved away from home, I've kind of started to appreciate it a little more. And even back home when I used to listen to, your CD, I started appreciating it even more. And I really like the fact that you guys sound Australian. Like, I know you've been criticized by, record executives as sounding too Australian. But I think there's a kind of a really cool charm about it.
There is a cool charm about it. No,
you know what I mean?
And the only thing it's missing is he doesn't say at the end, I think I like my bike.
And you know what? It does kind of make you feel a little proud to be Australian, when you listen to it.
Well, that's the point that I'm trying to put across.
Yeah.
As I used to go and see bands as a young fellow, like, the only bands that you could see, they were bunging on, American accents. So, well, they were, and how can you stand in front of a microphone with your band and sing in an American voice when you're not an American?
Right.
I think if you're an American, go right ahead. But I couldn't do it. I didn't even ever try to sing in an American accent. I think actually it was doing work with some of the bands back in the day, probably Fresh Rectum notably.
Right.
Michael Savage always had a very broad Australian accent.
Oh, he did, yeah.
And you could hear at the beginning of Kiss the Goat, that was a recording of me when I was 4. My uncle recorded it, so I'm singing the
I thought that was you, yeah.
I would just like to make a point.
I had a very broad accent back then, too.
Yeah.
You don't have a broad accent. I don't hear that at all.
What?
Vicky, how come you get mad at me when I play Rolf Harrison?
Oh my God, she torments me with Rolf Harris constantly.
Tommy Kangaroo down, sport. Tommy Kangaroo down.
And then she'll go to my
I've
Facebook
got a couple of Rolf Harris albums here.
Yeah, her mum bought her one when she was a kid.
Tommy Kangaroo down, sport.
Yeah.
Okay, that one.
And I get in trouble for playing it.
Constantly.
Okay, so I play it constantly, and then I walk around singing "Tie Me Kangaroo Down" Sport. But come on, what about me? Me boomerang won't come back.
That's a classic as well. I think didn't Spike Jones do a copy of that?
Oh, did he?
A version of that?
What did they do about being black in the face, though?
Oh, it's very dated.
Yeah, it's really dated. Yeah, Australians have a habit of, but it's part of the culture, I guess. To a degree.
Yeah.
But it is dated, as you said. So.
Oh, come on! You got me gollywog cookies.
Yeah, I got my cousin to bring, because I was telling the guys over here, it's like, seriously, Australia, we still have like Samboy chips, but we changed the name of our gollywog biscuits to Scallywags. But they still look the way they looked as we were growing up. But
I don't think, did we ever have Darky toothpaste?
Oh, I don't know. We might have. God knows. We had everything that should not have been. But it's kind of tongue in cheek now. Nobody really,
I would hope not.
Yeah, I would hope not either. So.
But I think bestiality really needed to be an Australian.
Yeah.
Entity.
So did you say you guys are have a interest over here? Is it Deus Records in Hollywood?
Yeah,
album out on vinyl.
Brother Gibby Miller. He was actually born on the same day as me. He's a young entrepreneur and musicologist who's living underneath the Hollywood sign up there in the Howland Hills. He contacted me via MySpace. It would have been nearly 3 years ago. In regards to music, he wanted to hear more of it. He'd heard The Hatred That Pleasure Brings from Ian Reid's second compilation of, magical bands called The Pact of the Gods. So there was a lot of different artists on that, and we had the final track. They mixed in some William S. Burroughs for us. I think they were friends of Burroughs. And I think it came out just after he died. So we had the last track on this compilation. And Gibby heard it and loved it and got back in touch with us. And he's been really, really supportive. And they printed 300 copies of 1999's Root album.
Oh wow, yeah.
And it appears that they've sold out, but I think some of the shops there in LA have still got them.
Oh, okay.
As far as I can tell. And we've got about 30 copies here at the Beast House that
cool.
I'll distribute throughout the band, and if we've got some left, we'll probably sell them. But it's pretty. I'm tickled pink to be able to hold a record.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah, and it's a great label, DAIS, D-A-I-S. They're archiving a lot of the old Psychic TV stuff. And,
oh, wow.
Just amazing underground stuff that these guys, they only release stuff that they love.
Yeah.
So very lucky to have those guys supporting us, really, yeah.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
We have a couple of links we want to get out there. We actually went and looked them up ourselves.
We've got http www.myspace.com/bestianity. We have http www.bestianity.com.au.
I think you might find the bestianity.com. There's not much on it. I think it's just a splash page.
Oh, okay. All right.
We really don't have anything
well,
going
if
on.
they ever get it up.
But we also have the myspace.com, http myspace.com bestianity.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the main one at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to set up a market in the Hex online market. With
Hex Magazine, which we discussed a couple of weeks back.
Yeah.
They've set up a marketplace, so you're going to have your wares up there, right? Okay, perfect. Yeah. I think it was www.hexmag. Was it Hexmag? Damn, I can't remember. Hexmag.com? Yeah, I think that's what it was. It might be /marketplace now, but anyway, the links are up there.
Yeah.
So,
so we're remaining a bit enigmatic by not having a lot of stuff out there on the internet.
That's totally cool.
Well, we're going to be playing your stuff all through the show tonight.
Yeah.
But we
and forever from there.
Oh,
from that point on.
And we are going to put up the artwork. Probably we'll finish the show. Then go straight to Ustream and just do an artwork type of slideshow, so that we can get it up on podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic!
So you know all our links, don't you, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll get onto them.
Excellent.
Well, which links don't work? Yeah, they work. I was just on them.
We were just on them, Frauder. We were typing them straight from the control bar, or from the bar from the other computer. They do work. They may not work coming out of the chat room, but they work.
Yeah, maybe you need to copy and paste them. Yeah.
Before we finish up, can I introduce you to a couple of family members?
Oh, please. Yeah.
Okay, I'll get Otto to say a dingo ate my baby.
I love it.
Let's see. Hang on a sec. Hey, Otto, can you turn that off for a sec? Yeah. Can you say a dingo ate my baby on radio? A dingo ate my baby!
Thanks, Otto.
You did that really well.
Yeah, he did. It's very convincing.
It's not funny, it's mean. Poor Otto, he just got some braces put in the other day, so he's in pain.
He's in pain. He's angry.
He's happily in pain now.
Oh, he's happily in pain. That's cool.
And what I might do is just introduce you to my darling wife, Melinda.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and she can say a hello to you.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, I'll put her on.
Hello.
Hey, Melinda, how are you?
Really well, and yourself?
We're really great. We've heard a lot about you. And we've heard we've heard you sing and all that.
I can't deny that.
Yeah. Too bad I didn't get to meet you. I used to go to those Rune Guild, those Rune what were they called? Rune feasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I did meet you. Who knows?
I don't think so. I think you were there the year before that, the first one that I went to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I went to all of them until I left. So.
I'm pretty sure, and then I arrived after you had left, so we kind of missed each other. But I've heard a great deal about yourself as well.
Excellent. We really enjoy your singing too. You got a beautiful voice.
Oh, very much so.
And you guys make a really great couple. You know, good collaborators too.
We try. I suppose the big thing is we enjoy it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun doing it, don't take it too seriously, and it tends to work a lot better that way.
Yeah, it totally shows too.
I think you have to enjoy what you do. That's what my mother always said. You have to wake up in the morning and want to do what you do every day.
That's true. It makes it bearable.
Indeed. Well, more than bearable.
More than bearable, but you know. Well, it makes my life bearable. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for taking some time to speak to us.
Not a problem. I'll put Michael back on.
Thanks, hon.
Hello.
Hello.
Alrighty. So,
Alright.
Thank you so much for bearing with us through all those hiccups as well, and for spending
awesome.
some time with
Thanks.
us. Yeah.
Thanks for thinking of me.
Oh, of course, yeah. You're way too. Oh, you know what? Once you Michael's also formulating. You're writing an essay basically on, was it Satan and the devil being two separate entities, something like that?
Yes.
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 So
That's as close as I can get to describing it at the moment.
Yeah. So when that time comes, we'd love to have you back.
Absolutely.
Because haven't you heard people broach that topic, but nothing's really come of it. So I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on that too.
Yeah, well, I'll have to research a bit more, and I'll see what's already out there, so I'm not repeating anybody.
Right.
But I'm sure it's more than a matter of semantics.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So that'd be great. I'd love to.
Oh, we'd love that.
Thanks a lot for supporting me. It's great.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I think you guys are doing an amazing thing. You know, it's really interesting, sort of being an old fellow like I am and coming up and seeing all these different people, you know, trying to get information across. You know, you guys are asking questions instead of expounding ideas and theories. You know, it's very refreshing. It was like coming across Hex magazine. It's great. It's absolutely magical, but very level-headed at the same time. So
yeah.
I get the same thing from you guys.
Yep.
Thank you. All right.
Alrighty, so we're going to say good night to you so you can get back to your lovely family, or good afternoon for you.
Yeah.
And we're going to...
I've got to go and move the fridge now. Put a fridge on a ute and drive it home.
Okay.
All right.
We're going to play Bestianity's Iron Lullaby. When we come back, we're going to start talking about elemental magic and how to work with the elementals. Thank you so much, Michael, and we look forward to having you back in here.
Thanks, Jymie. Thanks, Vicky.
Thanks.
Good to talk with you again.
You too, hon.
Okay, take care. Happy birthday.
Thank you. Bye.
See ya.
That was a good interview.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and play that song. We're going to listen to Iron Lullaby by Bestianity. When we come back, we're going to do an introduction on how to work with the elementals, because quite frankly, there's been a lot of elemental problems out there in the chat rooms and on other radio shows that have gone out, and they're terrified of elementals, and you shouldn't be.
There's just so much, misinformation.
And we're going to show you how to work with them with all their stuff. So you may want to go ahead and grab a pen and paper while we play this little musical break. Thank you guys for sticking around with us. Enjoy that style of music, don't you?
No, I do. I didn't think you did, though.
Oh yeah, I do.
Okay.
It reminds me of like early, late 80s, early 90s type stuff, and industrial as it was coming out. I think it's the kind of stuff I used to hang out at a guy named Fuzzy's house at Nellis Air Force Base. You remember me talking about Fuzzy and
right.
But
anyway,
anywho, let's you know what, the elementals, they're treating elementals almost like they're demonic, and some of the great philosophers had actually said that man, being comprised of all four elements,
right,
used to have absolute control of them. It was only until they were he was taught not to that it was lost. And so all these people seem to think that that elementals are these demonic beings, and they're truly not. They're anything but. We're trying to get that information to you, Tark, on what the album's called again. Was it Root?
Which one? Root wouldn't have. I don't think Root had that one on there.
Oh. So in the elementals, the idea is, can they be destructive? Yes. Can they be troublesome? Absolutely. So the idea is to get control of them so that you can actually use them, because they can be some of the best. They can be the best working of fundamentals inside a magician's portfolio. To be honest, there is nothing else quite like working with the elementals, and it's and here's the thing: it's not like you can bind them with like a demon. I mean, you can. By doing like opposite elements like fire to water and earth to air and things like that. But when you do so, you're going to put yourself in great risk. So all these people who are trying to bind the elements, stop it. You're not doing this right. They're unlike any other beings. It's best to befriend the elementals so that they will go out of their way to help you, not bind them so that you insult and anger them so that they can do anything in their power to cause you trouble. Of course, that's all up to you. For you take your own risks, and some people don't like the elementals, and it's really because it's odd because a lot of people are afraid of them. good, Frauder, you got your magical squares. You're welcome. Now, beware for the hardest things in the elemental work. Is rooting out all of your lower formations of thoughts, emotions, dreams, and memories. There will be times of great loneliness. You'll have feelings of despair. Always remember to ground yourself in whatever way you see fit. You got to remember that we're all in transition. And so when in learning how to hold still from all these things that have kept us acting, one will come to see those things move away from your life on their own accord. And this really gives you kind of your foundation's a little rock and shake, but it's necessary if you want to root out what we have talked about in previous shows as shadows. Now, you need to analyze yourself, your thoughts, your feelings, and your dreams. You need to see what each thought or feeling is worth, come to know its roots, and find out if you desire to keep them. Otherwise, you're going to uproot them. And again, we've talked about this. We've talked about this in previous shows on using Jungian psychology, on using the tree of life, enlightenment, the shadow archetypes, the collages that you put up, and so on and so forth. And now we're going to do the same thing, only we're going to take a different philosophy level. We're going to take it over to elementals, which everybody seems to be scared to death of. And again, I love it when people who have no idea what they're talking about talk about something in our realm.
Basically, we're talking about, did you mention it was ghost hunters that we're hopping on on
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was kind of trying to keep it.
Well, kind of.
And it is.
Well, we
but
ghost
here's
hunt,
the thing. We ghost hunt too. And
we know our shit, but
here's the thing. Stay out of my playground.
If it's not that,
seriously,
it's about being an expert demonologist
or being afraid of a Ouija board, or you know what,
scrying mirror. Yeah. It's just getting ridiculous.
Stay the fuck out of my playground. Seriously, you really need to stay the fuck out of my playground.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're talking about, and you're screwing around, and you're making people fearful, because you're ignorant, and ignorance breeds fear and fear brings hatred, and hatred brings attacks, and they're acting like this, but they're acting like this is like something that you just, read a book when you study it. It's a religion, and it is a practice, and it is a way of life, and I'm not going to get started on that because I really am starting to get really pissed off that people play in my playground, and you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Be afraid of voodoo. Fuck you. Seriously?
Yeah. Well, true.
Seriously?
True.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're talking about.
Because voodoo is going to be the next thing.
Well, now they're starting on, it was demonology.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be voodoo.
Yeah.
And they're already starting in on the elementals, and the elementals are actually a beautiful working. It is so gorgeous to work with these 4 elements and the creatures that are within them, and the gods and the goddesses. Hell, even the demons inside the elementals, you will go out of their ways for you as long as you don't, as long as you work
them,
properly.
And you follow certain laws and. Within their nature and.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to do a little self-promotion plug here.
Okay.
Off that phone call from David.
David?
Gaz.
Oh, yeah. There's something exciting happening.
There's something exciting happening.
We've mentioned this video before.
When we had Kai Blackwood on, we mentioned that him and I starred in and Vicky starred.
Not really. No, it's her and Kai. I was there and whatever. But
I've actually got top billing in it.
Yeah, with
it's a
Kai,
documentary, docudrama type thing. It's not scripted. It's not like the reality shows that are scripted, and it's not silly. But it's called Sell It to the Devil.
And it just got distribution.
And it just got distribution, right?
Which is nice.
Which is beautiful. So it'll be out there. Number 1. Number 2, we're getting copies.
Yeah, we're going to be selling it.
We're going to be selling it. I'm going to be signing them.
Ooh.
I know. I'm going to sign.
Maybe we'll get Kai to sign some.
And we can get Kai down here. Maybe Kai and I can sit down and sign some copies here.
That'd be cool.
And we can talk about
working with goetics.
Working with demons and the demonology. He actually did a full demon thing.
Yeah.
And if you go back and you listen to our podcast about demonology and the Goetia with Kai Blackwood, you'll understand what we were talking about. But they finally got distribution. They're very happy. They're doing some pickup shots here tomorrow with me.
Right.
So I gotta look my best.
Yeah.
I gotta look all pretty.
Guys, slap on the makeup.
My hair's gonna be totally different.
Even though you don't need it.
But
this is like what?
Yeah.
2
But I think they're going to do the books and stuff, and I think they're doing some voiceovers for me over the books. But and then they're going to put the final tweaks on, and then it's going to go to distribution. And it's a great show called Sell It to the Devil, and we take a legitimate honest, non-scripted.
It's not something you really get to see.
Goetic.
Yeah.
Diving into the goetic demons, all the way down to doing a full-blown, properly and classically done goetic ritual to bring up Astaroth.
Mm-hmm. You had to go for the big guns. I guess.
Yeah, you can take the small guy. No, anyway, that's exciting news is here now. Let's get back to the elementals. Now, always remember to ground yourself. Now, you got to see what each feeling's worth and uproot them. Now, think consciously and be alive while knowing what it is you are and who you are to become in mind, body, and soul. Then you can move slowly out of that pit that you have dug for yourself, and you will come to see the lotus that actually grows within us, the flower, the blossom, you got to remember, nobody is actually born evil, bad, or sick in the soul. It's only through programming that we come to believe it as such. And we actually are good, loving beings. We just need to deprogram ourselves of some things to realize it, that we are who we are because of this.
Oh, you call me mid-yawn.
Mid-yawn. Mid-yawn, and I point at you.
Okay, so seeing as the astrological year starts with fire, a lot of people will decide to, basically commence their work with such an element. But whatever way you decide to go, it's basically really up to you. Maybe simply looking within and finding out what defeats you.
Defects.
Defeats.
Defeats. What defeats you through the defective nature.
Through the defective nature, within, yeah. We'll show you what element you need to work with in order to help you balance it. Whatever way you start with, start all the same, for nothing comes to those who only read, but to those who practice.
That's profound. You are very profound.
I am very profound.
That's very deep.
I'm very deep.
There's an echo in the room.
We don't like armchair occultists. Well, armchair occultists are fine, but whatever. No matter how many war books you read, you'll never be enlightened to the truth when behind the line.
True.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the following 4 sections we're going to cover are going to deal with the elements and their correspondences. The correspondences will tell you how to work with each elemental. It is up to you to decide if these correspondences ring true within yourself. As you find those things that have relevance within your life, must you then dispose of those things that do not? Remember, analyze everything. Do not take anything for granted. And there will be times when knowing the truth will really be needed. If you ignorantly take what someone else called the truth without having tested it for yourself, it will become smoke in your eyes, very thin, and causing your vision to blur.
True. Now, at the beginning of each elemental section, we've actually given a long list of correspondences that will help you to infuse the elemental energies within yourself. Mm-hmm. I want to kind of go through what each one of the correspondences is going to be so that you kind of get it before we hit the first element. So, we'll say, Earth King. So the king is the elemental king who rules that element. It actually represents the force of energy that goes into the element, giving it life and power. And then we'll cover a queen. A queen is the elemental queen who manifests the element. Mm-hmm. The queen represents the quality of energy that gives manifestation of that element in life as your senses perceive it. Perceive it.
Yeah.
Elemental, that's the beings associated in magic, which have been perceived as the most tangible beings with each element, and which is what everybody's attacking right now. Mm-hmm. You've got the ruler, the specific intelligence over each element. The ruler helps one understand and measure the qualities and attributes within each element. We have the archangel. Mm-hmm. The archangel who presides over the sephiroths of the tree of life, in this case, the elements. One way to look at the archangels is to see them as the very fabric within the background of creation where life is imprinted upon. Angels, according to the specific angel that through the ages are specified to each element. And the angelic order, the 9 orders of angels, so there's going to be an order that goes into there. A color, that's going to be the color that vibrates to the element. Complementary color. It's kind of the color that you guys put in the background to help focus the elements. It's a natural color so that the vibrations, which was the color, become more prominent within your mind. So you have like a background color with a foreground color.
Yep.
The background color helps the foreground color vibrate. You
Yeah.
have the form, that's the shape that is associated with the tattvas or the elements.
Yeah.
It's very Indian on that aspect. The magical tool, the ritual tool that represents the element within the ceremony. Be it a wand or a sword or an anathema, whatever, right? Your focus, the aspect of the body and mind that the element focuses its energy into the most. Created, the specific form of life that the element corresponds to. We have stones, the stones that best represent and hold the element energies. Plants' anatomies, the parts of plants that the element is associated with so that you can start combining your alchemy. The animal form associated with the element. I'm going to go ahead, we're going to throw in the river of hell, which is, I know it's according to Christianity, but the myth behind it helps. Right. And, of course, the river of Eden, that's the river that left Eden associated with the element. And back, again, going back to Christianity, but the myth helps explain a lot of it. The musical instrument associated with the element, and, of course, the musical note. That's the note that's vibrational frequency moves within the same spectrum as that element. We're going to handle our archangels. We're going to also handle archdemons. The archdemon associated with the element. This energy represents what can be understood as the antimatter of the element. The planets that are akin to each of the element. Signs, the astrological signs that are akin to each element. And, of course, the body. And the body, the area of the body element that the element directly influences. And the chakra. And I don't think I should have to explain the chakra, but it's the chakra that's associated to each element. Which finger on your hand is associated with technique with each element? There are techniques one can do, such as they're called mudras, the locks, with each finger that connect the element in such a way that one creates a specific form energy. One can then shape that elemental formation with their will and project it forwards, and that's something you should look up. We'll only give you so much information, right. And then you have to show as a student of the occult that is some type of get up and go ambition to do it. The elemental beings, the beings that are associated with the element, herbs that are infused with the different aspects of the elements, so that you can make your own incenses, blah blah blah. Virtues, those qualities of the element one will wish to receive, and the vices, those are the ones that you're wishing to abolish. The tetragrammic letter, in other words, which one of the Yod, He, Vav, He's does it represent? Yod is the father, divine, active, fire principle. H is the mother, angelic, receptive, water principle. Vav, it represents the sun, intermingling, air principle. And the second, He, represents the daughter or the bride, which is the accumulated earth principle. And, of course, we'll tell you which Yod, He, Vav, He it is. And, of course, it's temperaments. And this represents the astrological temperaments of the sign that are associated with each one of the elements. I just said a whole mouthful.
I know. Excuse me.
I turn this over to you.
Okay, so it's going to be a little extensive. Let's first cover Earth. Okay, so it's elementals are the gnomes. It's the king.
The king is Gob.
Sorry, hang on a second. Sorry, I've been hacking away today. The queen is Gaia. The rulers are Cherub. The god name is Adonai, which is, your Yod He Vav He. Part of. No. The god name is Adonai, which is He Yod He Vav. He Yod He Vav. Oh my God, I'm just like reading things else backwards. The quadruple, which is north, the archangel, which is Uriel, the angel, which is Polak. Yeah, the angelic order.
Oh, Forlach.
I can never do that.
I know you hate doing that.
Yeah. Well, there you go. The correct pronunciation. Angelic order is the cherubim. The quality is stability. The color would be yellow, red, blue, and green. The complementary color would be black. The form would be a square or a cross. The sense is touch. The sign is Taurus. The tattvas are.
That's Prithidi.
Yeah.
Prithidi.
Magical tool is a pentagram, altar, and cloak. The focus again is the senses. created stones. The stones would be the dark stones and stones that help with grounding oneself.
Hematite, things like that.
Yeah.
Onyx. Obsidians.
Yeah, all of those.
All those.
Metal would be lead and silver. Plants' anatomy would be
The roots.
the roots, yeah. Animals would be any kind of burrowing animal.
That would be like gophers and prairie dogs and moles. Not chauffeurs, though.
That's because chauffeurs don't exist.
They would if you'd let me hybrid an animal.
Okay, so the river of hell is the Acheron. River of Eden is Euphrates. Musical instrument are drums. A musical note is F. Archdemon is Mahazael or Mahaza. No, Mahazer. Below. Planets is Saturn and Earth. Yeah, that was a typo right there. Signs Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Body would be the feet to the knees, and the body itself and the bones. The chakra is
The Muladhara.
yeah.
Root chakra.
Yeah. The finger is the ring finger. The elemental creatures, gnomes, brownies, elves, satyrs, pans, dryads, hamadryads, durdelis, goblins, dwarfs, leprechauns, and giants.
Elves are in there, though.
And elves. Elves are always in there. Serenity. Herbs. Just saying. Herbs will be patchouli, mugwort, horehound, sagebush, sorrel, vervain, magnolia, horsetail, salt, and roots again. Some virtues will be patience, builder, strength, thriftiness, acquisition, conservative, practical, dependable, stable, endurance, and protective. And some of the vices is
These
greed.
are what you want to abolish.
Yeah, these are your shadows. Greed, addictions, obsessions, laziness, tiredness, lack of control, forgetfulness, anger, and sluggish, slow movement. Tetragrammic letter would be the he.
The hay.
The second.
Is it the second hay?
The second hay.
So out of Yod Hey Vowel Hey, it's Vowel Hey. It's the hay.
Yeah.
Hey, nonny.
Oh, no. The phlegmatic temperament.
It's got a phlegmatic temperament in the astrological.
Yes, don't. Yeah. Respectable endurance, consideration, resolute nature, firmness, seriousness, scrupulous, concentrative, demeanor, sobriety, punctuality, circumspective, resistant, dullness, tardiness, laziness, and unreliability.
That's the astrological temperament of it.
Yes. Now, according to the elders, no, we do want to skip that. Well, I know what we're working on, hon. I love the way you're correcting my script as it goes along.
I'm making so many boo-boos.
I know. Now, according to the elders, the earth elementals are much too dangerous for the beginner to start with. Do you agree?
I agree and disagree at the same time.
Yeah.
I got to tell you. And it's only because of
I think when I started working with water first.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't know
I
why.
did earth, and that's because I'm an earth sign.
Well, I'm a fire sign, so I should have started. I think just my opportunity arose, and it was water at the time when we were introed into it. Yeah.
Right.
But that was kind of cool because they're very playful, so they kind of readily.
Does this mean that as an earth elemental's Serenity can't have her wine no more because it says sober?
Sobriety. Well,
no, it actually just means it's a somber, sober personality.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually mean sobriety.
No, it doesn't mean that.
It means just being a sober, somber person.
A boring person. Anyway.
Don't be boring, ass.
That's why she drinks. Oops. Did I say that out loud?
That's not why she drinks. She drinks because I drive her crazy.
Yeah. That's okay.
I drive S to drink because I'm always calling her an elf.
Anyway, so...
Sent her an elf, too.
I'm sorry?
Sent her an elf, too. She could open up a box and there's an elf.
Yeah. What else?
What's that?
Okay. So I'm going to get back to the reading this because we're digressing.
Okay.
Okay. And we, it's like 9.
Oh, 2.
Yeah. The salamanders are very strong beings, and there is no room for weak people calling upon them. Yet if the adept, well-read and well-versed in their correspondences...
I know. I'm sorry. It's not the salamanders. It's the
Oh
my
my God, we're working with... The gnomes.
I got confused. I think I had
That's
to go out
okay.
and help a customer there.
And I was thinking fire, too, when I was reading this, so it sounded natural to me.
It's all right.
The gnomes...
I got interrupted by a customer.
And I literally was thinking fire. Damn it.
The gnomes are very strong beings.
I hear. Well, let me start this again since I erroneously did that. Okay, the gnomes are very strong beings and there's no room for weak people calling upon them. Yet if the adepts are well versed in their correspondences, having built up a strong inner strength and act impeccable during the ritual, they would have no problem other than the thoughts within the mind. Of course, one should know their self before starting the elemental ceremonies, so that you will not put yourself into a position that will become, that you basically regret later. So the earth elementals are truly studious and patient beings. They have a great knack for building things from scratch, as well as improving things already built. Yes, you do.
I don't know what you... I was just scratching my nose with the pen.
I know, but you kept looking at me.
Oh, that's because you caught that it said studious, not studios.
I know.
Because I type... I think faster than I type.
It's okay. In your work with them, you'll be able to gain greater strength in your own work, a force of energy and an understanding of how to build with it, a sureness when walking in society, a little giddiness over things of life that you know nothing about, a faith in yourself and a assuredness in your work that up to that time was a little lacking. Are we repeating ourselves? These qualities have always potentially been within you, yet now you will come to realize and manifest them within your life.
We're going to move on to air. Air. The king is Peralda. The queen is Vayu. The elemental is the sylphs. Ruler is Ariel. Mm-hmm. The god name, Ieye. That is Eheieeh, which is you usually see as Vau He Yud He. Yes. The the direction is east. The archangel is Michael. The angel is Chasson. Chasen is what it looks like, but Chasson. The angelic orders are the dominions and the principalities. And the quality is reasoning. A good color is orange and yellow. Complementary color, violet. And the form is a circle or a dot. Sense, smell, and hearing. Sign, Aquarius. Tatwas, Waju. Magical tools are the incense and wands. The focus is intellect. Created plants. Stones are the spongiest pumice stones, all stones with a yellowish tint. Mm-hmm. Or the one, or the things like carnelian is good. Amethysts are good too.
Yellow jasper.
Yellow jaspers. Metal is copper or tin. Plants anatomy is the flowers. Animals, birds. River of Hill. Cositis.
Yeah, something like that.
And the River of Eden is Pison. Musical instrument, wind instruments. So one time at band camp, there was a flute. I'm just kidding, okay. The musical note is E. The archdemon is Azazel. And the planets are Jupiter and Mercury. Uranus can be included in that. I guess that could also be included in as a wind instrument, too. Anyhow, signs are the Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. Body is throat to forehead, ears, nose, skin, and all things to do with your respiratory system. The chakra is the Anahata, and your finger is your little finger. Elemental beings, fays, fairies, sylphs, muses, druids, jinns, pixies, chameleons. So all these things that people are afraid of. Herbs are almond, aspen, benzoin, citron, clover, dandelion, eyebright, hazel, lavender, lemongrass, Mace is good. Marjoram, mint, mistletoe, sage, savory, slippery elm, pine, and parsley. Virtues: speed, communications, adaptability, magnetic, fluid, optimistic, clearness, kindness, intellectual, piercing, perceptive, and inventive. Vices: gossiper, thief, dishonest, contemptible, fearful, lacking of stability, rude, airheaded, and unemotional. There are actually 4 winds that are associated to the air element that you would work with, and that is Notus, which is the south wind. It's usually cloud, moist, and a bit sickly. You have Boreas, which is the north wind, fierce, roaring, and frosty. Zephyrus, which is the west wind, which is soft, pleasant, cold, and moist. And Urus, which is the east wind, which is waterish, cloudy, and ravenous. The tetragrammatic letter is Vau, and it's actually got a very sanguine temperament. It's penetrating, diligent, joyful, adroitness, dishonest, and fickle, but kind, clear, eager. It can get a bit of a gossiper, and it lacks an endurance, just like any wind it would. Now, air is the glue that holds everything together. It's the binder of life, the breath that breathed life to live, that which carries the seed of life to the planets and unto the ends of the universes, the vital spirit moving in and in transition at all times, that which dreams are made of, the impressions of which our shared realities are reflected within our minds. The air elementals bring up things that lie deep within us. You will be faced with many memories and many fears, and there'll be no room for petty emotions, for they are almost adroit in their beings, and yet they can greatly affect us through our emotions. They are good at dispersing negative thoughts and energies, and they will take away all your pains upon their wings. They are, if not controlled within the mind, able to feed the flames of passion and disturb the waters of our dreams that lie within our minds. So many energies lie within our minds and control our thoughts and actions, and the air elementals will help clear away all foreign energies from us so that we can come to grasp our own inner self. Know thyself, the oracle says. As the energies move through your lives, it will be important to know thyself so that thou can see the light and find the enlightenment, the great.
You're scaring the bunnies.
I'm scaring the bunnies. I'm trying to scare S.
You're scaring the bunnies.
I could have been a preacher.
You could have, would have.
Could have, would have, should have. If my aunt would have had balls, she would have been my uncle, but she doesn't, so thank God, right? Anyhow, go on to water.
I'm speechless here. Okay, water.
I'm utterly out of control at all times.
All times.
All times.
All times. No wonder I'm exhausted every day. It's like having a 3-year-old.
I shall find the living spirit to come down into the crown of thy head, so that I can find the energy to become Kether, and thou shalt be saved, said the Lord.
Kether.
You can move on to water now. I'm done.
If I was Kethered, I wouldn't be subjected to that. I'd know to stay clear of any kind of...
We have seen the light.
Yeah, I've seen the Kethered light.
Okay, I'm done now. See what happens when I drink a giant Coke?
Oh, yeah, huh? Okay, so the king is Nixa.
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 Come on, get the hairball out.
I don't want to. The queen is Triton. The elemental is the Undines. The ruler is Tharsis. The god name is Shaddai.
Which is hey, bow, hey, yod.
Yeah. The quadruple is West. The archangel is Gabriel. The angel is Talihad.
It's not like it's like the Taliban, but Talihad.
I know. So it's like the angelic order are the thrones and the archangels. Quality is contraction and magnetic. The color is white and blue. The complementary color is red. I always loved having like, what was it, red background with a blue square on it as a kid, and used to sit there and shake it about.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out why it vibrated. Anyway, things that amused me as a child. Okay.
Things that amuse you as a child. Part 1.
Part 1. Form is the half moon. The sense is taste. The sign is Scorpio. The tattvas are uppers. Not uppers, but...
I was about to say, you're doing what?
I was like, forget it. I'll just go back and fix that. Magical tool is the cup, crystal ball, and mirrors. Excuse me. The focus is emotions. Created metals. Stones are pearls, crystals, and all stones associated with water or the color blue. You know, like aquamarines and such. Metal, quicksilver, silver, yellow, brass. Plant anatomy would be the leaves. The animal would be the fish. The river of hell is Styx.
Not the band.
River of hell. Okay. River of Eden is Hiddekel. Musical instrument is string instruments. Musical note is G. Archdemon is Azrael. Planet is Saturn.
And Neptune.
And Neptune.
And the moon.
And the moon, yeah.
Well, the Saturn has that watery aspect to it as well as being Earth.
Well, I know it does. Anyway, you need that hook in.
Yeah.
Sign Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. I'll let you have that one.
Are you going to let me do it?
Scorpio, Cancer, and...
Feces.
There you go.
Hey, baby, my sign is Species. What's yours?
The body is...
I haven't met a Pisces yet that I didn't hate.
I have. Knees to waist, the body, knees to waist, glands, sweat glands and saliva. The chakra is the Sadhisthana.
That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. The finger is the thumb.
Is thumb even a finger?
Well, on the hand, it will be the thumb. There you go. Elemental beings, mermaids.
What's that? The Oceanites.
Sprites, Nixon. Podomides, the Undines.
The Nereids.
The Nereids, yeah.
And the
some people say
Patamades.
Naiads, yeah. The herbs are aloes. Oh, this is long. Apple, lemon balm, belladonna, birch, poplar, poppy, blackberry, burdock, camphor, chamomile, elder, ragwort, rose, coltfoot, comfrey, daisy, daffodil, datura, sandalwood, yarrow, elm, eucalyptus, foxglove, hemlock, hemp, hibiscus, jasmine, yew, spearmint, thyme, kava, lady slipper, lemon, myrrh, morning glory, and passion flower.
And Bingo was his name.
Virtues, receptive, understanding, empathic, sympathetic. There's vitality, growth, loving, kind, astrally aware, divination, in tune with cycles and meditation or meditative. Vices, over emotional, disintegrating, dissolving, secretive, indifferent, no foundations, ungrounded, forgetful, lustful, clouded. The tetragrammic letter will be the first he. The melancholic temperament, respectful, modest, compassionate, devoted, serious, docile, fervor, cordiality, comprehensive, meditative, calm, quick, adaptable, forgiving, tender, indifferent, depressed, apathy, shyness, and laziness. In the womb of our beginning lies the truth of our being. May no soul be born without the waters of life. For the firmaments we separated, and the waters of the lustral skies, unlimited and vastly without number, flowed within everything unknown, while the waters from below brought forth life and all the abundance therein. These waters are our regeneration and our new beginning. Born of the flesh, we come to leave the celestial waters, only to find them once again within the symbolisms of the baptismal waters of initiation. Water symbolizes life, beginning, birth, knowledge, growth, and abundance. The waters are the healing salve that washes away all our pains and all our sorrows. The water gives us hope and comfort when we are in need. The water symbolizes wholeness, oneness, peace, silent power, passive strength, and the will to live. The Undines are truly sexual creatures. Life is too short to be slobbering over every petty morsel.
Pretty morsel.
Did you write pretty morsel?
Pretty morsel. slobbering over every pretty morsel.
Beware of their trap. Do not fall victim to their ways, but gently learn of them.
I know you think I'm the bee's knees. It's okay.
I do.
Especially when I use old-time languages.
It's okay, sweetie. In doing so, they will help set you free. They are great teachers of beauty, love, and harmony. For as the music of their voices bring the harmony of the sea, so it is within our hearts that they will guide us through our dreams. So, let's do the fire.
Let's do fire. Fire! The king is Djinn. The queen, Pele, of course. The elemental is the salamanders. The ruler is Seraph. The god name is actually Agla, which is Atha Gala Leelam Adonai. Also referred to as Yod-Heh Bal-Hey. The direction is south. The archangel is Raphael. The angel is the Samael, but it's not the Samael that's the daemon, because that's Samael the Black anyway. The angelic order is the seraphim, the authorities, and the powers. The quality is expansion and electric. Color is red. Complementary color, green. Form, triangle. Sense, sight. Sign, it's a Leo. Tatwas is the teachas. The magical tool, Athames, swords and candles. Focus, will and understanding. Created animals. Stones, asbestos, firestones, or anything that is associated with fire or the color red, like red jaspers, bloodstones, garnets, rubies, fire, agates and opals. The focus, metals, gold, iron, steel, nickel, and red brass. Plants anatomies, seeds. Animals, salamanders and crickets. River of Hell, Philekathon. River of Eden, Gihon. Archdemon, Samuel. Musical instrument, voice. Musical note, D. Planets, Mars, Sun. Well, they take Pluto away as a planet, but I'm going to say Pluto. Because he was a cute Mickey Mouse dog. Oh, that's wrong show. Signs, Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. The body, waist to throat, eyes, blood, and nerves. Chakra, the Manipura. The finger is the forefinger. Elemental beings, salamanders, dragons, crickets, drakes, basilisks, phoenixes, and sphinxes. The herbs include alder, I should say. It's not elder. Alder. Ash, basil, bloodroot, cactus, cedar, cinnamon, copal, damiana, dragon's blood, of course, garlic, hawthorn, heliotrope, hyssop, juniper, mandrake, oak, onions, pepper rue.
No, just
pepper and rue. St. John's wort, snapdragon, tobacco, wormwood, yucca, and sulfur. You like playing with the sulfur. Virtues, energetic, strength, creative, valor, loyalty, motion, perceptive. Vices include sporadic, breakative, irritable, destructive, intemperate, anger, and caught in illusions. The tetragrammatic letter, Yod. There are actually 3 fires to work with.
Is breakative a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the dictionary.
Okay.
It was even in the Microsoft Word check.
All right.
I win. Game over. Oh, wait. There are 3 fires that you can work with. There's the celestial fire, which is all-consuming, bright, joyous, and wisdom. The infernal fire, which is dull, dark, consuming, and painful. And then the terrestrial fire, which partakes in both celestial and infernal. It's got a choleric temperament. It's activity, enthusiasm, eagerness, resolute, courage, productive, gluttony, jealous, passions, irritability, and temperament. And fire is the giver of life, strength, courage, and will. The heat that moves through all things, the sustainer and the devourer, the father of creation, and the electric movement, electricity untamed. It is the outflowing movement of energy which pervades all things from the smallest molecule to the largest sun. The all-expanding circle within a circle, the giver of life and light, the devourer of darkness, and the beginning seed of all things. Fire is said to be the most dangerous element to work with, being that it's the element of of willpower, which most people act, and strength. No wonder it's the most dangerous to work with, because if you don't have enough willpower, it'll eat you alive.
Burn you up.
Burn you up. What is change all about? One could go on for years to many psychologists and still never overcome one fear. Yet within the circle that you're doing these elements in, being honest, humble, excited, fearful, strong, and patient, one will overcome many fears in just one session of working with the elements. Don't you think?
Yeah.
It only takes one push of the button to erase an unwanted program. I know Belinda is saying don't forget, don't mention the war, but it has nothing to do with war, because you're working on an internal thing, not an external thing. And again, this is working with elementals on a personal basis. You'll see that it's one button to erase an unwanted program. Seriously, you might come to see your loved ones and friends looking at you differently while they unconsciously place those vices back upon you, simply because they expect it from you. Be strong and use your will to make them change their programs of you. Otherwise, you will either fall right back into old patterns or lose those who keep you from changing. Doing away with the ritual for a moment, let's look at the actual emotional mental mind while in ceremony. You need to, here you are, knowing your good and bad qualities, desiring to overcome the bad while amplifying the good. If we're honest with ourselves in all things, humbling ourselves down as we enter into the circle in order to seek help from the hidden reservoirs within our own beings and from the elementals. You should find yourself excited and filled with more energy than normal, feeling tingles run up and down the spine and the body, and power that gives you the fuel to carry through with the insanity of it all. And at last, at peace with the truth, whatever it may be for you. Truly, seriously, the truth will set you free. It really will. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Now, look, you guys, you just... Everything that you need to know to work with the elementals within a circle of ceremony we just gave it to you. We gave you the herbs, which could also substitute the oils. We've told you who to call down and who to study, the king and the queen. Study those gods and goddesses. Study those kings and queens. Study the mythology of the rivers. Study the mythology of all the elemental beings. Study the vices and the virtues. Be honest with yourself. Enter that circle with excitement, not absolute fear, so that you can actually get what you need out of it. Seriously. Let's play another song real quick from Bestianity. And when we come back, we'll talk about what's going to happen next week, because it's Christmas weekend. We've got some stuff happening at the store this week. Give everybody... we'll talk about some more things before we say goodnight, okay? What do you think?
Yeah.
The hatred that pleasure brings?
No, whatever.
Does that one look like a good one?
Sure.
Let's play Bestianity, the hatred that pleasure brings. When we come back, we'll wrap up the show.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long one, though.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap up this. Show.
Yep.
So next week is Christmas weekend, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it next weekend?
Close enough.
Well, next Friday. Yeah, okay, we're not going to do the show next Friday.
Well,
No, we're at my mom's.
I know that. I just thought that we'd stick on something. Okay.
I vote. You know what I was going to do?
What?
I was going to load up Sam, broadcaster, with a bunch of Christmas songs,
Oh, okay.
and just let it play
All right.
through the night.
Krampus.
We'll play Krampus. We'll play some. We'll play some.
We'll delve and find a whole bunch of
stuff,
yeah.
including some occult
Yeah,
stuff
occult
and
stuff. Yeah, yeah,
and we'll try to play that during our hours.
yeah.
But I'm thinking, no, we're not going to be here on the 24th.
No, I know.
No, we celebrate at my mom's. So,
And what about the 31st? I mean, if you look forward another week,
another week after that is the 31st.
it's New Year's.
So that's New Year's Eve. But what we'll probably do is, what do you say?
We could do something. I mean, maybe
We don't have anybody between us, before us. Why don't we do something early so we can get the hell out of Hollywood in time? We'll just go early.
That's an idea.
We're going to close the store half day anyway.
Maybe we'll do some stuff on prosperity, getting yourself prepped for the new year.
Let's talk about Bayberry and some prosperity stuff on the 31st for your
traditional Bayberry
stuff and some rituals for the new year that people can do.
Yeah.
And then let's get out of Dodge.
Right.
Because we don't want to be out here in Hollywood in the Midtown.
No.
Also on the 19th here at the store, we're actually having a Yule ritual. That's open.
Oh yeah.
And it's been 456 years since we've had an eclipse on a winter solstice?
Yeah.
456 years. This is going to be really a special one. Now, that's actually going to be the 20th or 21st, but we got something special planned. See, James, one of our friends, is actually going to come down, and he is going to he's going to film the ritual.
Yeah.
And everything that we're doing and all the things that are happening. We're actually going to get that ritual up by Monday morning.
Yeah, we'll get it up fast.
We'll get it up really fast. If not by Sunday night, we'll get it up Monday morning. So that because you want to be able to see what's going on, say
Right.
for the 21st, which is when the eclipse happens.
Yeah.
So let's plan on that. So it sounds like a great thing, right? Mm-hmm. All right. We want to thank everybody for joining us this week. What we're going to do is we're actually going to end the show. We're going to switch over. It'll take us like a minute, but we're going to switch over to Ustream, and we're going to play a little slideshow of our guest's Michael Fallsom's art.
Oh, okay.
And we'll put that back up on podcast too. But I'm going to end with a traditional Australian old-time Christmas song.
We're getting it started early.
We're getting it starting early. We're going to go. We played Krampus from Michael earlier. We're going to play Rolf Harris's 6 White Boomas. Okay? And
I don't know how traditional that is.
when that song's over, give us a minute. We'll be over at Ustream, and we will be streaming the artwork. Yep. All right. Thank you for joining Occultist Radio. Again, it'll be Christmas music next week. Join us on the 31st for
Yuletide music.
Yuletide music.
Krampus
music. Join us on the 31st at 5 p.m.
Yes.
Our time.
Do you want to do 5?
Let's do it 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Is
We're
the
closing the store at 4.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we always close at 4.
Do we? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
we don't stay around.
Okay.
5 p.m. we'll do the show.
Alrighty. Sounds good
rituals.
to me. Sounds
And
good.
then we'll get out of town.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're only going to do like an hour show, maybe?
Yeah, we're only going to do an hour on
Yeah.
the 31st.
Yeah.
So everybody have a happy Yule. We'll be posting the ritual up on Sunday night or Monday morning. Here's Rolf Harris.
In Australia, Christmas comes in the middle of a very hot summer, so when Santa Claus delivers his presents, he's not taken round by reindeer because they can't stand the terrible heat. He's taken round by 6 big, white, old man kangaroos called the 6 White Boomers. Early on one Christmas day, a Joey kangaroo was far from home and lost in a great big zoo. Mummy, where's my mummy? They've taken her away.
We'll help you find your mommy, son. Hop up on the sleigh.
So up beside the bag of toys little Joey hopped, but they hadn't gone far when Santa stopped, unharnessed all the reindeer, and Joey wondered why. Then he heard a far off booming in the sky. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Pretty soon old Santa began to feel the heat, took his fur-lined boots off to cool his feet. Into one popped Joey, feeling quite okay, while those old man kangaroos kept pulling on the sleigh. Hey, 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Then Joey said to Santa, "Santa, what about the toys? Aren't you giving some to these girls and boys?"
Well, they've all had their presents, Sonny. We were here last night. This trip is an extra trip, Joey's special flight.
6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Soon the sleigh was flashing past right over Marble Bar.
Slow down there,
cried Santa.
It can't be far. Hop up on my lap here, son, and have a look around.
There she is. That's Mummy, bounding up and down.
6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run. Well, that's the bestest Christmas treat that Joey ever had, curled up in Mother's pouch, feeling snug and glad. The last they saw was Santa heading northwards from the sun, the only year the boomers worked a double run. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, racing Santa Claus through the blazing sun. 6 white boomers, snow white boomers, on his Australian run.